Hello friends, so welcome to the fourth lecture of this unit, and in this lecture I will introduce the another special function that is called beta function, and then we will see some relation between beta function and the function which I have introduced to you in the last lecture, that is gamma function, means relation between beta and gamma functions. Finally, we will take some examples which can be solved with the help of beta function. So, first of all, let us see the definition of beta function. So, beta function can be defined by an improper integral and denoted by beta of xy. So, beta is a function of two variables x and y, while the gamma function was the function of only one independent variables. So, beta of xy is given by this improper integral 0 to 1 t raised to power x minus 1 into 1 minus t raised to power y minus 1 dt. Here this particular definition holds for positive values of x and y. So, if both x and y are greater than 1, then the beta function is given by a proper integral, means this integral will become a proper integral, and hence convergence is not in question about this definition. However, if x is between 0 to 1 or y is between 0 to 1 or both of them are between 0 to 1, then the integral is improper, and hence the convergence of this integral is in question. However, by breaking this integral 0 to epsilon and then epsilon to 1, in this way we can convince that in this particular case also integral converges, and hence in that way for all positive values of x and y this definition is well defined for beta function. Now, based on this definition, now we will take some important property of, or I will say the important identities of beta function. So, we have defined beta function as beta of xy 0 to 1 t raised to power x minus 1 1 minus t raised to power y minus 1 dt, and here x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0. Now, the first identity, so I will write it as I1. I will prove that the beta function is a symmetric function, that is beta of xy equals to beta of yx. So, take the definition. So, in the definition put t equals to 1 minus u. So, this will give me dt equals to minus du. So, this beta xy will become by this substitution as, so when u is 0 t is 1, so 1 to 0, and then t will be 1 minus u raised to power x minus 1, 1 minus t will become 1 minus 1 plus u. So, u raised to power y minus 1 and then minus du. This is, so I will take this minus and I will interchange the lower and upper limits. So, it will be 0 to 1 u raised to power y minus 1, I have taken this term in the beginning, and then this term x minus 1 du, and according to the standard definition, what is this? This is beta of yx. Hence, beta function is a symmetric function in x and y. The second identity which I am going to take is quite important identity, because we will use this identity in many examples. So, it is saying that the beta function also can be written in terms of sine and cosine, and it is given by the relation beta of x y equals to 2 times integral over 0 to pi by 2 sin theta raised to power 2x minus 1 cos theta raised to power 2 minus 1 d theta. So, let us prove it. So, in the definition of beta function, what you do? You just substitute put t equals to sin square theta. So, from here it will become dt equals to 2 sin theta cos theta d theta. Now, substitute all these values in the definition of beta function. So, beta x y will become, so when t is 0 theta will be 0, when t is 1 sin square theta equals to 1. So, sin theta will be 1. So, theta will be pi by 2. So, 0 to pi by 2 t raised to power x minus 1 t is sin square theta. So, sin square theta raised to power x minus 1, then 1 minus t means 1 minus sin square theta. 1 minus sin square theta will become cos square theta. So, cos square theta raised to power y minus 1 and then dt. dt is 2 sin theta cos theta d theta. So, into 2 times sin theta cos theta d theta. So, I have taken 2 in the beginning outside the integral. So, 2 times integral over 0 to pi by 2. Here it is sin theta raised to power 2x minus 2. Here I am having plus 1. So, 2x minus 2 plus 1, it will become sin theta raised to power 2x minus 1. Similarly, cos theta raised to power 2y minus 1 and then d theta, and this is a thing which we need to prove. As I told you, I will use this identity in several questions. So, the third identity which I am going to discuss here is again an important property of beta function. So, it is saying that beta function can also be written as in the form as a fractional function of t, that is 0 to infinity. So, please note that here in this particular definition of beta function or identity, I am integral is over 0 to infinity t raised to power x minus 1 upon 1 plus t raised to power x plus y dt. So, let us try to get this identity from the definition of beta function. So, what you do? You make a substitution like t equals to u upon 1 plus u. So, from here what I will get? dt equals to one plus u as such, differentiation of u will be 1 minus u as such upon 1 plus u whole square. So, this will be 1 upon 1 plus u whole square into du. When t is 0, u will be 0. When t is 1, what your u should be? U should be infinity. So, from here I will get beta xy h zero to infinity t raised to power x minus 1. So, u upon 1 plus u raised to power x minus 1, then 1 minus t. So, 1 minus u upon 1 plus u. So, this will become 1 plus u minus u. So, 1 upon 1 plus u. So, 1 upon 1 plus u raised to power y minus 1. So, this is coming for this particular term, and then dt. So, dt is 1 over 1 plus u whole square du. So, this I can write 0 to infinity. So, u raised to power x minus 1 upon, please note that 1 plus u in the denominator raised to power x minus 1, 1 plus u raised to power y minus 1. So, it will become 1 plus u raised to power x plus y minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, and plus 2 I am having here. So, plus 2. So, this will be cancelled. So, 1 plus u raised to power x plus y and then finally du. And if I put this u as t again, 0 to infinity t raised to power x minus 1, 1 plus t raised to power x plus y dt. This is the required form in this identity. So, hence we have seen three important identities of beta function. Now, we will see another important result of gamma function and beta function, that is the relation between beta and gamma functions. So, result is like that. So that beta of x y equals to gamma x gamma y upon gamma x plus y. So, this is the relation between beta and gamma function. So, let us try to get this result. So, we know that gamma x can be defined as 0 to infinity t raised to power x minus 1 e raised to power minus t dt. And if I substitute t equals to u square, then I will get it 2 times 0 to infinity u raised to power 2x minus 1, because t is u square. So, u square raised to power x minus 1 means u raised to power 2x minus 2, and 1 u will come from dt. So, 2x minus 1 e raised to power minus u square du. Similarly, I can write gamma y equals to 2 times 0 to infinity u, and here I will take another variable, let us say v raised to power 2y minus 1 e raised to power minus v square dv. So, gamma x is that one, gamma y is this one. Let us multiply these two relations. So, in the left hand side I will be having gamma x into gamma y, in the right hand side I will be having 4 times 0 to infinity 0 to infinity and then I will be having u raised to power 2x minus 1, v raised to power 2y minus 1, e raised to power minus u square v square du dv. Now what you do? Just change it into polar coordinates, means make a substitution, that is something like this: u equals to r cos theta and v equals to r sin theta, and du dv will become r dr d theta. So this will become 4 times 0 to, so in polar coordinates it is first quadrant, so r will be 0 to infinity and theta will be 0 to pi by 2. U is r into 2a r cos theta raised to power 2x minus 1. So r cos theta raised to power 2x minus 1, v will be r sin theta, so r sin theta raised to power 2y minus 1, and then e raised to power minus r square, because u square plus v square will become r square, and then du dv will become r dr d theta. R is the Jacobian here, Jacobian of uv with respect to r theta, so I have to write here. Now this can be written as 4 0 to pi by 2, 0 to infinity, cos theta raised to power 2x minus 1, sin theta raised to power 2y minus 1, e raised to power minus r square, and then the total power of r will be 2x minus 1 from here, 2y minus 1 from here, and 1 from here. So 2x plus 2y minus 1. dr d theta. Please see the limit. Limits are constant, they are not the functions of one another or like that. So by the Fibini theorem, this double integral can be written as the product of two single integrals. So let me write it here. So gamma x gamma y will be, I am writing this 2 times 0 to pi by 2 cos theta raised to power 2x minus 1 sin theta raised to power 2y minus 1 d theta into 2 times zero to infinity e raised to power minus r square into r raised to power 2x plus 2y minus 1 dr. What is this? This is the beta of xy, just from the second identity, 2 beta xy into 0 to infinity e raised to power minus r into r raised to power 2x plus 2y minus 1 dr. So this is gamma x, gamma y. Let us see this, our first equation. Now see the gamma x plus y. So from the definition of gamma function, it will be 0 to infinity t raised to power x plus y minus 1 into e raised to power minus t dt. Put here t equals to r square. So, if I put in this t equals to r square, this will become 2 times 0 to infinity r square raised to power x plus y minus 1. So, it will become r raised to power 2x plus 2y minus 2. E raised to power minus t will become e raised to power minus r square, and 2 I have taken already, r dr dt will become 2 r dr. So, 1 r will come here r dr. So, I can take out this r and I can write out here. So, this is the second equation. And now compare first and second. So, basically what I am having from the I have taken this beta xy in this side in the denominator, then this particular right hand side will be same as this right hand side equals to gamma x plus y. This gives me beta xy equals to gamma x gamma y upon gamma x plus y, and this is what we need to prove. So, this is the relation between beta and gamma function. Another important result which I can prove here is, so I will write result 2, that is beta of x y can be written as beta of x plus 1 y plus beta x y plus 1. So, let us see how we can obtain this result. So, again I will use the definition, not the definition, in fact I will say the identity 2 of the beta function. So, beta x plus 1 y can be written as 2 times 0 to pi by 2, that is the integral over 0 to pi by 2 sin theta raised to power, in if I am having x here I used to write 2x minus 1, but since I am having x plus 1 here, so it will be 2x plus 1 into cos theta raised to power 2y minus 1 d theta. This can be written as 2 times 0 to pi by 2 sin theta raised to power 2x minus 1. So, I am taking sin square theta out of this. Cos theta is already here, and then sin square theta which I have taken out from here, I am writing this member as 1 minus cos square theta d theta. Now, I am breaking this integral into two integrals, 2 0 to pi by 2 sin theta raised to power 2x minus 1 cos theta raised to power 2y minus 1 d theta means from this term, and minus 2 times 0 to pi by 2 sin theta raised to power 2x minus 1 cos theta raised to power 2y, because here 2y minus 1 into cos square theta. So, 2y plus 1 d theta. What is this? This is my beta of xy, and another second term will be minus beta of x, and here it is y plus 1 by the second identity. So, beta x plus 1 y equals to beta xy minus beta xy plus 1, hence beta xy equals to beta x plus 1 y plus beta x y plus 1. If someone ask you to solve an integral, solve 0 to 5y2 sin 5 theta into cos 9 theta d theta. So, it is quite lengthy process if we solve it without using beta and gamma function, but since now we are having the knowledge of beta and gamma function, so we can apply that here. So, I can write this as 1 by 2 into 2 0 to pi by 2 sin 5 theta. Sin 5 theta I can write sin 2 into 3 minus 1. So, 2 into 3 minus 1 theta cos raised to power 2 into 5 minus 1 theta d theta. So, this becomes 1 by 2 and this thing becomes beta of 3 because 2x minus 1, 2y minus 1 means 5, 1 by 2 beta of 3 5, 1 by 2 gamma 3 gamma 5 upon gamma 8. This equals to 1 by 2 gamma 3 will be factorial 2 because gamma x plus 1 equals to factorial x when x is a positive integer, factorial 4 upon factorial 7, factorial 2 is 2, factorial 4 is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 upon factorial 7 will be 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So, this is cancel out, 2 also cancel out. So, this is coming out as 1 upon 7 into 6 into 5, that is 1 upon 210. So, this makes our life simple if we use beta and gamma function for evaluating such kind of definite integrals. So, in this lecture I talk about beta function. I have taken few identities of beta function, then I have developed the relation between beta and gamma function, which is quite popular and very helpful solving definite integral, and finally I have taken one example to show the applicability of beta function for evaluating definite integral. With this I will end this lecture. Thank you.